In this report, I'm going to tell you what institutional investors ask Tesla for the battery day. What battery questions institutional investors ask Tesla. In my previous report, I talked about what retail questions were, top retail questions that were the most shared for Tesla. And you can see that on torquenews.com, on Torque News YouTube channel. But here we're going to take a look at and see what institutional investors ask Tesla, because those are different types of questions, different kind of level of questions of different kind of interest. Welcome back, dear friends. This is Armin Harayan from torquenews.com. If you are here first time, please subscribe to our channel for daily Tesla news and ring the bell so you don't miss my next Tesla story. Why is this important for you? If you are a Tesla investor, this is important for you because you can start thinking like an institutional investor. You can see what topics interest institutional investors when they do their Tesla research and come up with their prospectus, and this may help you to think a little bit differently and ask the right questions to make a decision on what you do with Tesla in the future. Now, let me make a disclaimer. I am not a Tesla stock owner. I don't own any other stocks. I'm not in the stock market and don't plan to be in the future. So there is a website on tesla.com. There is a link to a page where you can go and ask questions. And I see 15 institutional questions. And here is the first one. Please, may you share with us your thinking on whether the advances you have announced could enable Tesla address other non-ground-based forms of transportations. Did you see? Basically what this institutional investor is asking is the batteries that you're making, would they enable cars to fly one day, or will be able to fly planes using electric power instead of jet fuel? So I think that's a very interesting question, because this can potentially affect the aero industry in the future. Another institutional investor is asking this. As the battery's useful life starts exceeding the average ownership period of the vehicles, what alternatives do you envisage in terms of reusage, recycling? That's a very good question, because the batteries are going to become better and better each time, and they probably will exceed the average ownership period, and maybe battery to grid, car to grid. I saw that question also came up in the retail questions section that I reported before this. Here's another question. Another institutional investor is asking, are Tesla's battery breakthroughs allowing Tesla to keep its current pace in the rate of battery cost declines, or should they enable an acceleration? Okay, very good question. Here's another one. Battery cell margins appear very thin, with multiple viable suppliers building out significant capacity. In this context, small margin staking. What drives the main benefit of vertical integration versus allowing the cell suppliers to aggressively compete for Tesla's business? I think this is kind of simple, because in yesterday's reports, Elon Musk said that Tesla will need as many batteries as possible. Tesla will reach its serious battery production at the Roadrunner project by sometimes in 2022, but they still will have the partnerships with Tesla, LG Chem, Cattle, and Elon Musk also said even possibly other suppliers to get as many batteries as possible, suggesting that Tesla and electric cars will be in high demand. So here's another question from an institutional investor. Does Tesla plan on outsourcing battery packs to OEMs? Will they be these new battery cells or the old 2170 packs, or both? Or will Tesla keep them all for Tesla? This question came up also at the retail questions sections, which I reported. Yes, will Tesla plan to outsource battery packs to other car makers? I think that's a very interesting question. If other car makers buy batteries from Tesla, it will probably be able to increase its revenue. This will be a new line of business, but Tesla right now said that, first of all, Tesla will be able to make batteries seriously no earlier than 2022. Per Elon Musk yesterday's tweets, which were kind of cold water on many people. And also Tesla will use as many batteries as it can, because Tesla thinks that probably the demand for electric cars will increase even more and more as more people are thinking to go to electric. So here's another institutional investor question asking, assuming a lower battery pack cost over the next few years well below $100 per kilowatt hour, to what extent will that cost saving be passed on to consumers? What time frame might we see a Tesla vehicle that addresses the broader masses from a lower price point perspective? I think this is a very good question in terms of time frame. Basically, when do we expect Tesla prices to drop and drop significantly? For this, please go to torquenews.com/Tesla and see our Tesla reporter Paul Foss's two stories predicting Tesla prices in 2022 and predicting Tesla prices in 2025 due to the lower costs of battery. Here's another question from an institutional investor asking, how are you going to address the cathode durability and cost and environmental impact trifecta? Is this something you are going to leave to the upstream supply chain to solve? Okay. And another question is, in addition to new battery innovations, Tesla today appears to offer the best holistic electric vehicle in the market at better value than competitors. Do you agree with that characterization? Is it sustainable? And what are the most important components to ensure that equation holds? Basically, it's about what Tesla does to ensure in the future it still leads in the electric car market. Another institutional investor asks, will these new battery cells give enough power to weight ratio for electric planes and boats? Or is H-power cells better for planes and boats? That's very good questions, because I will also want to see one day airplanes using electric power instead of jet fuel. Another question is that, here's this, the aluminum casting process for which you filed a patent clearly has the potential to drive lower manufacturing costs while potentially increasing quality. Going forward, how much cost reduction can you drive in rethinking traditional process versus batteries? Another question that our institutions are asking is, are you open to selling batteries to other OEMs as you ramp capacity? This is a good question, because like I said, this question was asked above, but now the question is, will you sell when you ramp capacity? Selling now is very unlikely, but when Tesla ramps capacity, I don't know. I think it will depend on Tesla demand, and I don't think Elon Musk will probably know the answer right now. What are your thoughts on this, friends? Let me know in the comment section below. Here's another question. The institutional investor asks, how do you appreciate long-term margin risk around sharp commodity price inflation, considering that many electric vehicle essential base metals are already or close to supply deficit? Yeah, that's a very good question. I think the LFP batteries may be a solution to this, and I think in the next couple of years we may see other breakthroughs in battery technology and chemistry, and we'll look forward to that. And there are two questions left. This one is, how do you plan to sustainably source raw materials required for manufacturing battery packs? I think this is very similar to the question that was just asked a little bit ago in terms of sustaining the source of raw materials, cobalt, nickel, iron, and manganese, and so on. And I think this is why Tesla has been aggressively buying all these raw materials that they can, especially nickel, but the LFP batteries will be going away from nickel. And the last question that I see asked is, both BYD and CATL are now shipping LFP batteries with cell-to-pack technology to drive lower costs. How do you see the benefits versus trade-offs of LFP cell-to-pack versus other chemistries, and do you think this approach will take substantial share within electric vehicles? Very good question. I think Elon Musk answered this 2-3 days ago. There was a nice article in Clean Technica, and Elon Musk responded to this part, saying you make very good points. And in Twitter, I think this response was on September 17th. And if you look in Torque News YouTube channel, 2 days ago, you will see that report, and you can probably find the answer there, how Elon Musk responds to this, saying basically that LFP batteries are great, but